If you really want to connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you need to purify the nafs. You see, we have our ruh, our spirit, that wants to know Allah. Our ruh wants to worship Allah and connect with Allah. But our nafs can become a hindrance to achieve this if it has not been purified. In the Quran, there are 3 levels of the nafs that are mentioned. Firstly, nafs al-ammara, the evil commanding nafs. The next one is nafs al-lawama, which is the self-accusing nafs, and then nafs al-mutma'inna, the content nafs. You see, with each level, as it gets more and more purified, it's like that purification enables the ruh, the spirit, to connect with Allah. It's like those veils are able to be removed. And to highlight this point, I want to do an experiment for you all. I will start with the most pure level of the nafs, which is nafs al-mutma'inna. You see, when the nafs has been truly purified, it's like pure water in this analogy. And imagine this is like your ruh. Your ruh is clear and it wants to connect with Allah, and your nafs is also pure. So when you add the water, you get no hindrance or no impurities to with the ruh. Nothing becomes a distraction to the ruh. With the pure nafs, the ruh still continues to achieve what it wants to, which is to worship Allah. But think of it then, if your nafs was nafs al-lawama, which is the self-accusing nafs. It hasn't fully purified itself. It knows of Allah, it wants to worship Allah, but it also falls short of doing that by committing sins. So it's almost this going back and forth, this struggle, and that's why it's known as the self-accusing, because it's struggling. It knows its shortfalls but is not able to overcome it. So if this was the nafsul lawama and this is the ruh that we have in the bowl, you put, and as you can see, it affects, and I'll stir it with this, and it affects the ruh. So the ruh now is not able to fulfill its purpose as it did when we had the nafsul mutma'inna. And then think of nafsul ammara, which is the evil commanding nafs. With this, your basically desires are going wild. You're doing whatever your nafs ego wants. You are impulsive. You're trying to fulfill all your desires. And so when your nafs is at that level, then the ruh is greatly impacted. So you can see how through the nafs al-ammara, the ruh is struggling. It cannot breathe and it cannot manifest itself. There are so many veils for its connection, between its connection and Allah. And this is why, brothers and sisters, it's so important for us to purify our nafs, because the purer our nafs is, the more our ruh is able to fulfill its purpose, which is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.